Hello, welcome to the NobCast, the Manchester City and Man United football podcast. It's the end of the Premier League season, so a perfect opportunity to grade every single side's season. And we'll also be touching on the relegation race to the bottom. Eventually, it was Leicester and Leeds and Everton just about surviving. Last week, we focused a lot on Manchester City, so we won't really be talking about City today. Not really too much to talk about. However, there is quite a bit to talk about when it comes to Man United, so we are going to be focusing more on Gaskey's team this week. A really good question, and we are going to do it this week in NobCast, where viewers can ask us questions. We are going to be doing a worst Premier League 11 draft based off the top 11 clubs in the Premier League, so stay tuned for that. And also, we'll be previewing the Manchester Derby, United's biggest game of the season, maybe City's, third or fourth biggest game of the season, because we're so massive and United is so tiny and tin pot. Gaskey, mate, how are you?
Oh, it's all we're getting, just pure abuse. But I'm good. How are you? How are you?
Before I even tell you that, would you deny that you don't deserve abuse?
I don't deserve abuse.
Right,
Me personally, I don't deserve abuse.
What's that based off?
Based off the fact that I'm a good person.
Right, what's that based off?
I just my upbringing and the respect I expect from my peers.
The respect I expect from my peers. I'm sorry, Isaac Newton.
I went a bit too Tory then, I think.
Oh, so two. So that suggests that you're Tory at heart.
Right. Can we move on, please?
Because I personally, I'm zero Tory. So if you do any amount of Tory for me times zero, that's zero.
Well, I mean,
whereas he claims to have a multiplier.
I mean, we're going off. If we're going off your viewers and your following, they think you're Tory. So
yeah, but they're all rats. I hate all of them.
Oh well. Oh, you're gonna hear first.
Speaking of hates, Gaskey, Man United. No. Yes, let's talk about Man United, shall we?
It's all here and it's all football, all the time.
Man United ended up finishing third in the Premier League table. Out of interest, Gaskey, where did you predict them to come at the start of the season?
I predicted. Where did I put? I think I said third.
Oh, did you really?
I expected. I thought City, Liverpool, maybe fourth. City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United. I think that's what I predicted. I can't remember. But
that's interesting. So they've only slightly exceeded, because me personally, I think for a lot of people, I put them in sixth place, and I thought that was being fair. I thought that was being fair because I didn't expect the capitulation from Spurs and Chelsea and indeed Liverpool. Hence, I put them in sixth place. But so they've heavily exceeded my expectations.
I expected top four. I did. But just based on, if we go off, obviously, the end of the season, didn't expect Newcastle to be where they are, didn't expect Arsenal to be where they are. It was only really, the only team I could see getting above them outside of City, Liverpool was Chelsea, really. So
there we go. So they've got around your expectations, but would you say they've exceeded your expectations in respect of, winning a League Cup, getting to an FA Cup final, and also sort of the vibes of the club in general as well that Ten Hag's been able to deploy?
Yeah, I think there's a feel-good factor there that hasn't been there for God knows how long. But again, there's still a lot of work to be done. I think everyone knows that. There's still too much of this. They have a bad game. People are then out with the pitchforks, get him out of the club. And it's not the solution. Teams don't win every single match. They lose games. Players have bad games. That's just it. Having the pitchforks out is not going to be the solution. But, like they've had good cup runs across the board. Potentially could finish with 2 trophies. Brilliant. Yeah. And it would make the season, I think, a good start, a good stepping stone to next season.
Yeah. Does the disappointment in Europe give it a sort of bitter aspect, or is that not really that important?
It's, for me, not really, but I think it was the way that they were knocked out more than anything, rather than, because if it was obviously over 2 legs and it was 1-0 Sevilla, it finished over 2 legs. It's it's close tie, but it was gone. You went from comfortable 2-0 up, Sevilla couldn't get a toe in, to battered in the second leg, and it was just like, what's happened there? But this, it's these games where they get beat, but they get beat. That seems to be my issue. Like, have that mentality to come back rather than just completely give up, which it seems to be. But overall, I think it's been a successful start to Ten Hag's reign, really. But hopefully, the ownership situation gets sorted out and they can push on.
Yeah, for sure. And just in terms of next season, first of all, what are your realistic expectations as to what you want to happen next season? You know, for example, do you think United can potentially challenge for the title? And follow-up question, what needs to happen, you know, in the summer or whatever for United to achieve that? Because I'm just looking at the league table now. Obviously, they're finishing in third. That's very impressive. But the goals against is fine. You know,
the goals for like they've got the third best defense in the league, and they just haven't scored enough. But you watch a lot of the games, the expected goals is there, the creating the chances are there. Bruno Fernandes creates God knows how many chances, but the ball's not going in the net, and that's the issue. They should be going. Most games should be 4-0 at half time, but they're not. So you find the solution to that goals for. Then there's no reason they wouldn't be in a potential title race or closing the gap at least to the top, which is what I just want to see consistent. I want to see next season, similar to this season in terms of you're thereabouts, you're beating they're beating all the top 6, all the top 5, or big top 5, whatever you want to call them, at home. You know, good start, brilliant. But stop getting battered away by them and have a bit more consistency and get them goals in. But we all know what they need. Even Ten Hag said that they need more quality to be able to challenge for titles. So he knows, but it's more of get the owners need sorting out because, you know, we've heard this before and then they get nothing. And then they get, you know, sacked because they've not done what they expect on not being able to build their team that they want.
So obviously a striker is required. Yes. We've talked before about, you know, who should it be, but let's talk less about the individuals. You know, we just know, full stop, there has to be a United quality striker there. Maybe Rashford's that man. I don't know. Me personally, I don't think so. I know. Yeah,
Rashford off the left.
I agree.
Rashford, and even the last couple of weeks, Sancho's gone on the right. He's 10 times better on the right. So that to me could easily be your choices. You've got a choice of Anthony and Sancho on one side. And then you've got Rashford on the other. And then Ahmad, if he comes back and stays from his loan at Sunderland, he's an option. And they've got plenty of options. It's just that number 9 down the middle to put the ball in the net. They don't have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But question mark on what other players might United need to bring in, because it's all well and good us saying, you know, they haven't scored as many goals, therefore just throw in a striker. That sort of works. But United, I think that you'll be the first to say that the way United have played this season, it's been very, not exclusively counter-attacking, but it's not necessarily been, you know, on the front foot as you would as you see from, like, let's say, City or Arsenal.
Well, yeah, like most games you watch, like I was watching the Fulham game at the weekend, and the example of that was they were comfortable. They were winning the ball back, just hadn't scored. Fulham then go and get a goal. United then push more, and it becomes a bit of end-to-end when it's like, this is not what they want. They should be 2-0 already. You know, the game should be out of sight. If that game, you know, if you get into that situation where you can have the game out of sight, then it doesn't become an issue. But that's where they need, you know, for example, Bruno playing every single minute isn't good. You know, you need someone who can come in and also do that. Obviously not as well, but someone who's just as good who can come in and do it. You know, Eriksen can't play 90 minutes and the game goes past him eventually because he's older. Someone who can sit there. Casemiro's then playing every minute because they don't have someone who can come in and do his job. So they need the depth across the board pretty much. So that's also what needs to be figured out. You know, they've signed a centre back, brilliant. You know, Wan-Bissaka's been brilliant, surprisingly. Left the other positions to find, and then they need a new goalkeeper. So, you know, these positions that need sorting out across the board, but it's a good start. I think this is a good start to show how they want to play, but it involves backing. Simple as that. It needs to be backed.
And do you think he will be backed?
God, at the moment, God knows. Based on just the way the ownership's going, the fact that they haven't, they've said they wanted to sell the club earlier this year. 4 months later, we've got nowhere further. You know, you just don't know. at the moment. I think if they do get new owners in, I think they will. But the current situation is like, you don't know. It's been 10 years since Fergie retired. God knows what's going to happen. Seen it before, so.
Yeah, the sale is, I understand these things take a lot of time. The Chelsea one was only quick because of the whole political situation. But it is very odd the way that Glazers are saying, I can't remember what they were initially asking for, but it was, around like 4 billion or 5 billion or something. Yeah. And then I don't know his name, but the Qatar person, he put in that bid. And then like a week later, they're like, oh no, actually we want 6 million. No, 6 billion now.
So apparently $6 billion is what they want, right? And apparently the Qatari bid is $5.5 billion because there's $500 million of debt.
Right.
So it adds up theoretically to them. It's going to cost us that much anyway. So, but the fact that they haven't just bitten their arm off for it just shows how arrogant they are and how full of themselves they are. Of like, oh, look how much money we're going to get here. We're going to get more. And it's like, no, just piss off.
Yeah. It's almost as if they're just like stringing them along.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. And then they'll show up at the bloody Wembley for the FA Cup final as if like these amazing owners. It's like, no interest whatsoever.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like, a part of me wonders, are they just doing this to like drum up interest in United going forwards and being like, now everyone's really interested in buying us now at 6 billion. Imagine what we can do in a couple more years. These people want it even more. We can maybe get 7 or 8 billion. I don't know. Yeah. It's a very weird situation.
Exactly. It is.
And I believe that in terms of like what the stock market thinks is going to happen based on like United's share price, not really escalating that much. I think that the market seems to think the takeover won't happen, but we don't know what conversations are happening behind closed doors. So, yeah, but even if it does happen, it's probably not likely to happen before this summer, is it?
It's not looking well. Everyone was hoping it would be done, so it could be done for this summer, but looking unlikely that is going to happen. So,
indeed,
God knows.
Indeed.
So players are going to go out the door to be able to get a transfer budget in. So that's also got to happen. And is the competence already in the club to be able to get sales in? Because they've been crap at that as well.
For sure. Before we move on to like the relegation battle, Gaskey, I just want to ask you a question that's been doing the rounds. I've got some thoughts on it, but I'd like to hear your thoughts first of all. Man United and the Arsenal have both had very good seasons, and they've both overachieved relative to what people expected, in terms of like position and stuff. I undersold United. I've also undersold Arsenal. I thought they'd get 5th, and they got 2nd, obviously. So my question to you, Gaskey, is it's a tricky one, maybe, but it's not really that important, but it's more of a fun topic. Who do you think has had the better season, Man United or Arsenal?
It's a tough one.
Because obviously United have won a trophy. Arsenal are trophyless.
If you look at it, I guess if you look at it as a whole, if you look, let's say in 5 years' time, and you look back on this season in particular, and you say, oh, which teams had the better season? You're going to go, City won the league, so clearly they have the best season. And then you're going to go, okay, what trophies were won? United could potentially have 2. And they finish, on paper, 9 points behind Arsenal, who finished 5 points behind the winners. Right? Really, you're going to say, oh, 2nd and 3rd place is no difference, really. They ended up 5 points behind. Okay, but then obviously Arsenal were top for a longer time, and they were the team everyone was chasing, which is a good thing to have. But they bottled that. So it's like, you can ask anyone in 10 years' time, if teams unrelated to you, what would you rather have? 2 trophies, let's say United theoretically do win the FA Cup, 2 trophies and 3rd place, or no trophies and 2nd place, because that's how it ends. Doesn't matter if you were in the league for so long and you were the best team for so long, you didn't win it. So you take the 2 trophies. But I feel Arsenal have a better, for the next season, they've got better position to go into the next season with than United do, based on the fact that they've got a young squad. They clearly can challenge for titles. There's no reason why they can't do it again next year. But I think these type of questions are more to come for at the end of the next season or the season after. Because it could be a situation goes, oh, Arsenal just did a title race one-off season. Means nothing. Whereas if they're constantly in title races, potentially you'd rather go sacrifice the trophies to have a few more years of success down the line. But as a one-off season, I would say United had the better season if they do win the FA Cup, because the Carabao Cup, I mean, no one really cares.
Well, therein which lies the question, because I totally agree with you that if United win the FA Cup against City, and let's for argument's sake say City win the Champions League, and then also stopping the treble from happening, in addition to the League Cup, I totally agree that would easily be a better season than Arsenal. It wouldn't really be a question. But now let's for argument's sake assume United lose in the FA Cup final. So now the state of play is they have the League Cup and no FA Cup victory. Does your answer change?
It's difficult because if you're looking at it as a standalone season,
yes,
what do Arsenal get out of it? Really? If you're looking at just 9 months, 10 months of football, 38 match weeks, and 3 trophies to go for, Arsenal finished second, had no cup runs. United have had 2 cup runs, won 1, and finished third. Really, the United have the better season. It's, but then if you look at it as a whole, we have to wait and see what happens next season. Because if Arsenal just do what Liverpool's done or just end up 6th, then it's like, what was the point in this season? It means nothing.
Yeah, I guess the question becomes, which does a fan value more? A title, and also it's an unexpected title race. I thought they weren't even going to get top 4, never mind a title race. And the context, obviously they bottled it, etc. But they still were nevertheless there, and no one expected them to be there. So the question is, do you value a title race more, and an unexpected one, more so than a League Cup win? I guess becomes the question.
Yeah, exactly. Like the question for you then, let's say in 10 years' time, City haven't won another league at all, and they haven't really been in a title race for a decade or half a decade or whatever. Would you take, and no trophies, would you take a trophy and third, or would you take just a one-off title race that you didn't expect? What would you rather have, really?
I'd probably rather
without knowing the future. That's the part for me.
I'd probably rather have the title race, because is it the title race and I know we're not going to win?
No, no, exactly. Like you don't win it because we're going off the season at the end of the season, aren't we? Yeah. I would in this current situation now, if I could change, let's say at the end, let's say after they've won the Carabao Cup, United. So the start of March, would you take the Carabao Cup off me and be in Arsenal's position? I would bite your hand off. Yeah, of course I would. Yeah, take it back, and I'll swap positions with Arsenal and be in a title race.
Yeah.
But if we're looking at the end of the season's now finished, then the Arsenal's position is mute, really. It means nothing.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry, go on.
I was going to compare it to like that season when Liverpool were like, how have you not won the league, and City won it? What did they finish on, Liverpool? 97 points or something like that?
Yeah.
Whatever they finished on. Absolutely ridiculous. If they didn't win the league the year after, what would you say about that season? If they never won a title?
Well, I guess they did win the Champions League that year. That's the only thing.
Oh, but okay, all right. They won the Champions League that season. What if they didn't win anything? Like, let's compare it to Arsenal now. What if they didn't win anything? They didn't win the Champions League that season. They didn't win the league the season after. Well, how would you look at that season of Liverpool finishing second? It means nothing, really, because you didn't get anything out of it. Yeah,
it means nothing from a looking back on the history books thing, because no one. But I guess. So the reason why I probably think it probably is still quite close is because, I mean, let's use the Liverpool example. I know it's not a perfect example, but if you're a Liverpool fan, you probably have fonder memories of the 13-14 season where you came second, had a title race unexpectedly, and then lost it, Gerrard slip, etc. You probably have fonder memories of that season than the 11-12 season, where I know they finished like 8th or whatever, but they did win the League Cup. So I guess
Yeah, definitely. But if, for my point is, when you look at it down the line, now that's in the past, and now you're 5 years later or however long later, they've won the Champions League, they've won. What if they had nothing in that period? What if nothing else was won? What would they be more fond of? We almost won the title, or that was our last trophy. Yeah. They're the two comparisons, aren't they? Whereas if next season Arsenal do it again and they're in a title race and it's between let's say there's a 4-way title race between Liverpool, United, Arsenal and City, and it's actually quite good. Obviously Arsenal's title race has really, really helped them push on, and they're going to win another trophy at some point. But for me, it's more of what happens next. Same for United, what happens next? Because if they just finish with the League Cup, they've won the League Cup. That's it. It's more of it doesn't mean anything unless Arsenal and United win nothing for the next 5 years. Then you can say, who's United have won 1 trophy, Arsenal have won none, who's been in more title races? That's the only other argument, isn't it? So.
Yeah. It's a tricky one, I think.
It is.
I'm not convinced. I think it's close either way. But if United win the FA Cup, for me, it doesn't become close at all.
No, yeah, definitely, yeah. If it comes down to the FA Cup, really, between who's had a better season, kind of. For sure. And you can also even talk about other contexts, like United getting battered 7-0 by their rivals in like a record-breaking game, etc. But I think that was a pretty good chat there about Man United. Gaskey, do you have anything else to say? I mean, we will be grading them later. No, I feel relatively happy for the season, I would say. Relatively happy.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Well, not fantastic. I want you to fail. But yes, very good. That is Manchester United. What we're actually going to do now is we're going to do our draft of the worst Premier League 11, and then we're going to be looking at grading the clubs and also the context of the relegation battle there, rather than it being different sections, just for the sake of easiness and time. So this is a NobCast question from Jack, who's asked it a while ago. We finally came around to it. Please do your worst Premier League 11 draft. Now, the rules for this are we're only picking the top 11 teams from the Premier League this season. Otherwise, we could pick some really big stinkers, from if we're including the likes of Southampton, etc. And the only other rule is that the player has to have played at least 10 games in all competitions. So you can't pick some random players. So at least 10 in all competitions. Does that sound good, Gaskey?
It does.
Fantastic. So would you like to go first, or shall I go first?
You can go first.
I can go first.
Are we just picking a player, or are you spinning a wheel, or what's going on?
So I'm spinning a wheel, and then we will
going to give us a team.
Yes, exactly.
Right, cool. Sounds good.
So the first team is Aston Villa. So the first team is Aston Villa. So you have a think about who you might want. I'm going to have a think. I mean, my initial instinct is Mings, because I think he's actually atrocious as a footballer. But let me just check who has been playing.
I've got to remember who's in the team
for them this season. Sorry. So as I say, the only rule is we need to make sure that it's at least 10 appearances. So let me just filter by not 10. So
it's quite a tricky one, because I can't remember who was a bit.
I'm just having a look. Oh, so Callum Chambers. Who else? Ashley Young has actually been all right for them, to be fair. I'm going to go Mings, because I don't think he's a very good, and it also gives me a left footer. But we are technically after the worst team we can make. But I'm going to go for Mings, because I really don't rate him as a centre-back at all. I've got a bit of a Mings agenda, so I'm quite happy with that pick.
Okay.
How about you, Gaskey? Who are you going for?
Cool. Ooh, right. Are we going off
this season?
Right. We got obviously just this season. Right. I might just go for someone. I don't even know who he is, but I'm just going to go for stats.
Brilliant.
I think, because I don't know who else to go for, because they were crap at the start of the season, and I don't remember the start of the season.
If we increase the appearances to 15, would that help rule out some players for you?
No.
Okay, fine. We'll just do 10.
No, it doesn't help.
Who is Gaskey going for?
I'm going to go with...
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Philippe Coutinho. Because...
Right, okay.
He's played 20 times, knowing the player he is and what he's capable of, and he's scored 1 goal and got no assists.
Fairs. Nice.
So to me, that's poo.
It's a big name, but no, that's fine.
No, a big name who is not with a team, having under Emery's having this run to get Europe, and he's not in the centre of it.
That's fine. That is absolutely fine. So are you okay to keep track of your team?
I am. I'm writing it down.
Fantastic. Okay, and I'll keep track of mine. Okay, so that's Aston Villa gone. So Gaskey, you will have next pick. While I'm spinning the wheel right now, and it looks like it's Fulham. Yes, Fulham is your team of choice.
Right. Let me get the squad up.
So who I think I know who I want.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I'm happy with who. You better not pit snipe him. I swear down.
I might have to do just looking right. So it's top 11 teams. All right, 2 secs.
That's all right.
I'm just checking another team.
Okay.
Oh, because this player, right. No, but he's got I'm gonna have to take.
Yeah.
Oh, do I?
Who are you taking?
Right. I'm taking a while here. I apologize.
That's all right. That's fine.
Let me have a quick scan.
I think I know who I've got a choice of 2 actually.
I do as well.
Right. Okay. I can't take yours, so why don't you vocalize what you're thinking?
Right. So the 2 I'm going between is I'm thinking, do I go for the keeper now?
Oh, you think Leno, right?
Leno, right? Because if we're being processing it properly, there's only limited keepers who you could really choose because you're not going to pick a keeper in the top 5 teams.
That's a good point.
So for me, the keepers are between the bottom 4 at least.
Yeah, that's probably a good shout.
We can pick from. But I'm thinking I might leave the keeper.
Right.
And go for someone else.
Okay, and who's this someone else?
That's the question.
Oh.
Who's the someone else? There's someone else. I'm thinking Dan James.
Right, that's one of the ones I was thinking of. Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Dan James.
Right.
Because he's done now.
He's quick, so he's good on FIFA probably.
I'm gonna go Dan James.
Okay, you're going Dan James. That's fine. So that's interesting. It's the keepers. I never even really considered. I was thinking Dan James or Anthony Robinson because every time I see Robinson, he's a liability defensively. I think he's all right going forward, but he's a bit of a liability defensively. But you've thrown a cat amongst the proverbial pigeons by saying
because if we've got 5 teams left and you're having to pick Edison as your keeper in the worst 11, you're gonna look a bit of a fool.
Well, I want De Gea to be fair.
The guy who's won the Golden Glove.
Yeah, but he's cheeks. Come on.
No, fair enough. I will respect your opinion. I think he's bad, but I wouldn't put him in there.
Okay. If I'm being generous, I'll say Leno's been worse. Yeah, is Leno actually the worst keeper? The more I'm looking at it,
I'm not going to say. I have one. I have one who. Well,
Palace maybe.
Guaita.
Even then,
but again, these are teams I don't really see.
I'm stealing your idea. I'm going Leno.
Leno.
Yeah,
right, okay.
I think that's a good shout actually because
because I was going to go with Leno just to get the keeper done, but then I thought Lloris has been wank.
Oh yeah. Oh, but Spurs are. I could have anyone at Spurs, right?
Because I was looking at the keepers and I was thinking, really, it's between Guaita, Leno, or Lloris, really the 3 keepers. Everyone else has been all right.
Right, I've got Liverpool. No, this is going to be good.
Oh, here we go. This is spoiled for choice.
Now I'm not going to pick Trent because he's had
cause trouble.
Because he's had some relatively good performances
since March. He's been pretty decent.
Oh, what a shame! I can't. Oh wait, it's all competitions, isn't it? We said.
Did we say all competitions?
We said all competitions.
Right. Because I'm checking Premier League.
Because I was going to say I can't have Oxlade-Chamberlain or Keita. I was like, I can. Oh, I could have.
What are you using for your appearances? Because I'm using the Premier League website, which won't work, will it?
I've done Wikipedia, which has all competitions.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Right. Who am I going to pick? I could have Joe Gomez. Oh my God. Mings and Joe Gomez, what an outrageously shit centre-half pairing that is.
I reckon people thought that was going to be the future, didn't they?
You would not be able to top that, that's for sure. The other one is...
Where does it say the appearances?
If you scroll all the way down into squad statistics and appearances, it'll be there.
Are you on Premier League? If you put the Premier League
you've got to put in the specific season.
Right, not the team.
So, it's up to you. Do you want to do 10 Premier League appearances or 10 in all comps? You want to do Premier League because it's a bit more specific? Because you can make bench appearances. Let's do Premier League actually, because let's do Premier League. Yeah, so it means I can't have Oxlade-Chamberlain or Keita now. Yeah, I think that's fine. Or Nat Phillips, which is a shame. Carvalho hasn't been that good. Curtis has been all right in recent weeks. I think I've got, it's Joe Gomez. It's got to be Joe Gomez. Mings and Gomez at centre half, and I've got Leno behind them. Right, there we go. That's my pick.
Good pick. Good pick. What do we take?
What do we take? He says.
I'm thinking. See, I'm going to go off like a player's stature, like who.
Oh, you're going for Van Dijk?
What do they expect from the player? No, I'm not going to Van Dijk.
Okay.
I might go. I'm thinking Thiago.
Oh,
because he hasn't done anything. He's been injured most of the season.
Yeah, he's been injured.
He's played 18 games though, 18 times, but he's done nothing. So I think I'm going to go Thiago.
Okay. Excellent. So you've got Thiago, and your next club. Oh, it's Man United. So you should be able to get you should know more than anyone else who is the worst player at your club this season.
Weghorst.
Oh no, poor Weghorst.
Mate, he hasn't scored.
Allow him.
I assume he's played 10 games.
He brings
about 90.
He brings nothing but vibes.
Let me just double check. I assume he's played 10. I think he played 10, hasn't he?
How many has... Oh, no, I can't... I could play back 3. I can't believe you haven't picked Maguire.
Well, I tried to just blank him out of my mind, to be honest. He played 17 times, Weghorst, and got an assist.
Can you find out how many times Harry Maguire's played? Because it says 8.
16.
Oh, it's... Oh, 16. So I could have Slabhead. Okay.
5 clean sheets. Try to think who else is that? Who else is that could be picked? Fred.
Fred's
been hit and miss, to be fair.
Oh, I could have McSauce.
Got McSauce. Oh, McSauce is a shout.
Yeah, you've picked Weghorst. I think that's harsh. That's outrageous.
How is that harsh? The horse.
Allow him. The horse? Allow him, personally. Right, yeah, I'm going to play a back 3. I mean, this is the most AIDS back 3. Gomez.
You just picked the slowest England back 3.
Gomez, Mings, and Harry Maguire. Like, I've got to pick Slabhead.
Does this mean that you're going to pick like actual wing backs, or are you going to go for like left mid, right mid?
I'm not sure. Well, it could be whatever we want. To be fair.
That could be a mental team.
Yeah, I'll just play like a winger at left wing back. We'll find out. Who knows? I don't even know.
That could be scary.
But yeah, I couldn't pass off on the opportunity to go for him.
To have Slabhead in there.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. So, I need some midfielders and strikers though now, because please give me Spurs, or is it going to go to Brentford? Oh, it's gone to Brentford. What a shame.
Oh, Brentford's a tough one.
Oh, I like Brentford. They don't have any bad players. Should I do Ivan Toney because of his betting issues?
I bet you take Tony.
Yeah, I mean, all off-field issues aside, he has obviously been very good.
Oh, yeah, he's probably the best player.
So I don't think I can pick him realistically. It's
difficult with these teams.
I might go Damsgaard because I've been so disappointed.
Oh, you know what? I was just thinking that because he was expected to. You're thinking what a player he could be, because at the Euros he was amazing, and Brentford got him, and you thought, wow,
yeah,
he's not done anything.
Exactly. So I'm thinking of Damsgaard. I think for Brentford sometimes I've actually played him through the middle, but he's normally played off the left.
This is quite difficult. This is quite difficult because.
So I'm picking Damsgaard.
I've not seen him play quite a lot.
Yeah, so he has been used on the left more at Brentford this season. So I'm going to have a left wing back. I've got Damsgaard. 1 AIDS defense. This is. Yeah,
I think I'm going to have to go because I don't know. I'm going to go for this bloke because he's done nothing.
This bloke
got a Godos. Played 15 times, no goals or assists as a forward, and he's not even a youngster. He was born in 93. Oh, there we go. So over 2 seasons at Brentford, he's played 32 games and scored once. He's going in the team.
What's he called again? Sorry.
Godos.
All right. Okay.
Saman Godos.
He's made 0 starts. No, wait. That's to be fair. Wait. You can still pick him. He's made 15 appearances off the bench.
Oh no, wait. This guy, because didn't they buy this guy for quite a bit of money? This Shard guy.
Shard.
Let me just check. I'm sure how much did they? Oh no. Oh, he's on loan. But again, has he started? Where are stats?
Where's this at Brentford?
Can't see. Yeah, Kevin Shard. Has he started?
So it doesn't have to be starts, to be fair. I just said that for vibes.
He's got 1 assist in 18 appearances. Oh, he's a midfielder.
It says here he's only made 8 appearances at Brentford, so you can't have him.
Oh, it says 18 on the thing.
Oh.
Premier League website? Oh, I don't know. I'll go with Godos. We'll stick with Godos. We'll have our front three done.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
And he's a forward, is he? Are you sure?
Yeah, he says he's a forward.
Oh, okay.
But it says this Shard guy is a midfielder. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know much about Brentford outside of their starting 11, I'll admit.
Yeah, neither do I.
Right, so your club is next. Who are you going to have? I think it's going to be Brighton. Yes, it is. Another club who I don't want to say have got bad players.
This is a tricky one. Yeah, Brighton.
Who are you picking? Brighton and Hove. The Albion.
Let's quickly whip the squad up, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
I have an issue here because I might have just left the whole defence till last.
Who are you going for? There's a lot of good players, but we don't want any good players.
They do.
If I was being cheeky, I'd pick Undav, but he's actually been doing all right. He's actually been playing all right recently. So he's probably not the best option.
Yeah. Tariq Lamptey, he's played a lot, but he's been pushed out of the team a bit, hasn't he? He's not played.
If only they still had what's his face.
Actually,
more pay.
Adam Lallana, he's God knows. Billy Gilmore. That was quite a big transfer, and he's not really broken into the team.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
14 appearances, 7 off the bench. This is tricky.
It is tricky.
It's a tricky team to go for.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to get a defender in.
Yeah, he's probably it's a good idea.
Right, so I'm going to go with Tariq Lamptey because he was considered quite a good player, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's had 20 appearances this season and 17 off the bench, so clearly he hasn't been good enough.
Okay.
And I'm just going off the paper here, so I'm going to go with Lamptey.
I'm going to go Undav because he should have been much better. I know he's been scoring some goals recently, including one at the Emirates, but all in all, he's had a very disappointing season, and I think that's probably the best option in terms of like the forward players, realistically, of players who've played enough games. So I'm going to go for Undav. Because as I say, he's been very disappointing. I had him in my FPL up until like week 3, and I was like, right, I'm going to have to sack this off. This is a bit ridiculous how much you're letting me down.
He's let you down.
He has. He literally has. And I've been given Newcastle. Now, I'm very tempted to go Gordon because I think I don't think he's good.
Big transfer fee, and he's not done anything.
Anthony Gordon, I don't think he's that good. Let's just double check what other players have made at least 10 appearances, though. Who else might we want?
I put myself in a bit of a pickle here because I'm getting teams down. I've only got defence left.
I'm feeling.
Oh, Ryan Fraser, why couldn't you just play 2 more games?
Oh, yeah.
Matt Ritchie as well. Oh,
I'm thinking Anthony Gordon, and is he a right winger?
Yeah.
Is it? Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure he is. Oh, he can play both. Let's have a look. If he's played enough at right wing, so he's played most of his games for Newcastle or Newcastle/Everton this year at right wing. At right wing back, I'm having Anthony Gordon. So there we go. So I've got Anthony Gordon and Damsgaard as my wing backs.
Well, interesting. Right, I'm gonna have to go for. Where's he gone? I'm gonna go with Matt Target.
Okay.
Just because. To be fair, I think he's a right back, and I'm putting him at left back. Because I fucked myself over. Simple as that.
That's fine.
He's played 17 times, and he's not really been part of the team that's done so well, has he? So.
Right, so we've got City, Arsenal, Spurs, and Palace to go. And Gaskey, you have been given Spurs. So,
can I put my keeper in now?
Yeah. Is that who you're definitely going with? Yeah.
Actually, I need to
because there are a lot of bad options here. And by bad options, I mean good options.
So what's left?
So we've got Arsenal, City, and Palace after this.
Arsenal, City, Palace. So if I save Palace for the goalie. So look, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, because I can't unless I want to play goalkeeper at striker. But yeah.
But then that just ruins the game.
No, I know. Yeah, yeah.
You with all the fun. Right, let me have a look at Spurs players.
What are you thinking?
Take voice.
Basically, any of their centre backs would work as well. Emerson Royale.
That's what I'm thinking, because I need centre backs as well.
Mm-hmm. You could have a Fraser Forster, to be fair, if you wanted to keep her. That's worse. That's even worse than Lloris.
To be fair, I think that's a bit mean on Forster, to be honest. I think I'm going to take... Yeah, 9 clean sheets. Jeez.
Oh.
I'm going to take... do you know what I might take? Because I don't like him. What's his name? The Argentinian bloke is on about.
What is his name?
Remember what his name is. What's his name?
Romero.
Romero. Yeah, I don't like him.
Yeah, he
gets sent off. He gets sent off, and he's just a prick.
I think he's I think he's maybe one of the most overrated.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Players.
I'm going with him. I'm going to dump him in.
That's for sure.
Davinson Sanchez is a shout as well.
Who am I going to go for? Yeah, so I can't have any more centre backs as much as I'd love to at Spurs. I can't
do it.
I'm thinking. Do you have a left back yet?
Yes, I need a midfielder, a centre back, and the keeper.
So you've got a right back as well.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I might change my formation. I might go 3-4-3. I might move Damsgaard and Gordon to actual wingers, and then
create some gaps for you.
And then I might pick like Emerson Royale here at right wing back.
Of an actual wing back.
And then have like a winger, and then do
it.
And then that'll be my front three sorted, actually. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick Emerson Royale, and he's going to be my actual right wing back. So there we go, Emerson Royale. So I'm now playing I'm playing a 3-4-3.
You've given me an idea there.
Oh,
you might have to wait and see.
Yeah, so I'm moving that to... So Damsgaard becomes my left winger for now, unless I want to change it. But there we go. That is a thing. Emerson Royale, you can go there. What an absolute AIDS team this is turning out to be. We love to see it. We really do. Okay. So next it's my turn next, is it?
Yeah.
So we've got City, Arsenal, and Palace left. So I need a left wing back. I haven't got any midfielders yet. So I probably need one of those. And it's Arsenal. It's Arsenal, right. So who's played enough games at the Arsenal this season?
Do you need a centre-back still?
I've got 3.
Oh, you're done now. I was going to say, I'm surprised you're not going to take Gabriel.
I would have loved to have taken him, or probably Holding, actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shout. Ooh.
But
I have an idea. Oh, should I change my formation?
Oh, you copycat.
I have an idea. Or do I just go for...
Right, whoever edited the Arsenal 22-23 page, it's the longest one so far. Like, ridiculous. Come on now. Right, here we go. So, who have we got potentially...
According to the Premier League website, there's 2 players for Arsenal called Leandro Trossard.
That's helpful.
And they've got identical stats.
Tierney hasn't done that much. I could have Fabio Vieira. He's been a bit shit, actually.
Oh, they think they want him gone. Oh, what about they bought all the titles since Jorginho came in?
He's actually performed all right for them, to be fair. Right, yeah, I'm going to go in central midfield. I'm going Fabio Vieira. I'm happy with that choice, actually.
Right, who've we got after this? It's City and who?
Palace.
Palace. Yeah. Palace and City, right. So I take... I'm looking at the City squad. I'm shocked. The City's the difficult one because...
There's a couple.
They've all played a lot.
Yeah,
so they've all put...
Yeah, exactly.
They've all put...
Right, well, just focus on your Arsenal in the first instance.
Yeah, I am.
You swine.
Who do we take?
I'll get the next team ready.
Right, we're gonna take Holding.
You're gonna take Holding, okay? Right. So what positions do you need now?
I need goalie and midfielder.
Right. Yeah. So it's Crystal Palace next. So I'm assuming you're going to take their keeper.
I think Guaita, yeah.
Okay. Right. So What's your last position that you need?
Midfielder.
Midfield. Okay. Right.
I better find my options.
So I'm going to get to pick the first City one, aren't I?
Yeah.
So, because I'm thinking, let me just double check. I'm thinking of picking Cancelo.
I guess I've got a couple. Oh, yeah, that's a fair shout.
Because
he's not even here.
He was but I'm sure he's made at least 10 Premier League appearances. Let me just double check. He's made enough appearances.
I assume he's played. Yeah, I would think so. For the World Cup.
Yeah, I just want to double check that fact. Yes. So everyone at City has, apart from our backup keeper and our children. So basically, the options at City realistically are Calvin Phillips, Cancelo, and Sergio Gomez are the options.
Yeah.
So has Sergio Gomez been worse than Cancelo, I guess is the question. Or do I play Phillips in central midfield and then pick Palace's left wing back? That, I guess, is the question.
Choice to make.
Who should I pick from bloody...
I mean, the fact that Sergio Gomez had that bad game you were talking about and then just didn't appear again for months.
No, I know. I don't know. Is this... Oh, no, any Premier League appearances. There we go. Right, so get rid of the ones that aren't there. Milivojevic has done nothing this season at Palace. He's now an old... How old is Milivojevic?
He's the captain, isn't he?
He barely plays anymore.
Yeah.
He's only made 5 Premier League starts. I'm probably going to go for... It's either him or Will Hughes. And Will Hughes has sort of been all right. Yeah, I'm going to go... So I'm going to go Milivojevic for my central midfield option. So that now means I've got left wing back for City. So I could pick Sergio Gomez or Cancelo.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take Phillips, so
yeah.
For midfield.
If I'm being... No, I think that, Cancelo wasn't truly terrible, whereas Gomez has been bad nearly every single game he's played, basically. So I am going to go Sergio Gomez, left wing back. And that, Gaskey, is our teams.
I'm quite happy with that, to be fair. So I thought it went better than I thought it would go.
So do you want to read... So should we do it position by position, do you think?
Yeah, let's do that.
Right, so who's your goalkeeper?
Well, I've got Guaita for Palace in goal.
Right, so I've got Leno. So who's had the worst season? Similar, would you say?
I would just say it's the same. Because I think they've both had similar clean sheets. And
Do you have a back 5?
A back 4.
Right, okay, what's your back 4?
I've got Lamptey for Brighton.
Fantastic
Romero
player.
for Tottenham. Holding for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And Target for Newcastle.
Right. I think I've got to take the defence.
No, I think you win defence.
Emerson Royale, Joe Gomez, Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, Sergio Gomez.
You're conceding a lot.
Yeah. That's my back. So that's fine. So what's your midfield 3?
So midfield, I've got Thiago for Liverpool, Coutinho for Villa, and Calvin Phillips for City.
Right. I've got...
I think based on quality, I think I'd say the midfield.
Okay, yeah, I've got Fabio Vieira and Milivojevic. Do you think yours is worse?
I think based on the names and what they've done this season, yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I think I'd say the midfield. So it's down to the attack.
Yeah. So what's your front 3?
So I've got Dan James for Fulham.
Yeah.
Van Nistelrooy for United.
Yeah.
And Godos for Brentford.
And I've got Anthony Gordon, Damsgaard, and Undav.
That's a lot. That's an attack of promise that's done nothing.
Exactly, and I think it's really close. So I'm going to go to the. I'll ask this in my streams. I'll also ask the comment section. Who's got the worst team, guys? I mean, it's definitely me. My defense alone should win it.
I've got someone up front who can't hit any target. So
I've got Undav.
I've got a horse.
But yes, guys, let us know who you think has got the worst team there. I think we've managed to make 2 truly terrible starting 11s, but let us know were there any obvious players we missed off. Do let us know. And Jack, thank you so much for that question. And there we go. That was the worst Premier League 11 draft. So now we're running out of time, but we will now have a look at grading the Premier League table. one club at a time. We're obviously we'll start from bottom to top. We'll start from bottom to top, and we'll talk about the relegation race as well in this context. So, I mean, Southampton have been relegated for a while, haven't they?
It's difficult for Southampton because it was as expected. I think everyone said Southampton bottom. So
I'm going to take issue with that. I don't think that's true. Did you predict Southampton to get relegated before the start of the season?
I had them as relegated. Yeah.
See, I did as well, but I was so convinced I was in the minority. I think most people had Forest, Bournemouth, and then maybe Leeds.
I had Southampton in the bottom three.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong there as well.
No, I don't doubt you had them in the bottom three. I just don't think it was common consensus.
I thought it was quite common.
I think it was once the season got started, but I think a lot of people would have had me, like lower mid-table and just about surviving.
No, I had them in bottom, but maybe I'm wrong based on how many people thought. But I think, I'm not shocked.
No, I'm not shocked. Well, I am shocked they've come bottom, and I am shocked that they were relegated like 3 or 4 games ago, to be fair. Like, they've been truly woeful. How many managers have they got through? Is it 3? Something insane?
Yeah. And their best, and probably the best manager was the last one.
So, for me, I'm going to give them a U, not even an F. I think they get a U. Because
I mean, I think it's difficult to give any of the relegated teams other than a U.
Just because, not only have you failed, because an F is a fail. That's what that means. A U is you've wasted my time marking this paper.
I see what you did there. Yeah, you wasted my time.
Exactly. And their transfer policy confused me. Signing loads of City young players. I know that Lavia's worked out, but
they've signed kids as if like we'll get these players and we'll have ready for the future. But it's like you've been relegated now. So was your plan get relegated and build up from there?
Yeah, they needed a striker, and James Ward-Prowse, I'm pretty sure, is still their highest goal scorer this season, and that's mainly from set pieces. So,
to be fair, I was thinking this. I think Ward-Prowse for Everton would probably be good.
He's that sort of level of play. So he sort of reminds me of a Sigurdsson type, not because he's a nonce, but because he's like a bit of a set piece merchant.
Yeah. It's just
which is necessarily a bad thing.
But a Dyche style team, that's the type of player I think. Someone who's he has one job.
Yeah, he's definitely Premier League quality. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Leeds, Gaskey. I'm sure as a United fan, you're buzzing about them going down.
Yeah. Oh, obviously. You for them as well.
They were
there. Just the whole the last. What is it? 3 years they've been in the Premier League now, and they've come in with this constant attacking football, make it exciting, but they've just been shit.
Yeah.
Just crap. They've gone, they sacked the best thing that's probably happened to them, Bielsa. Then they've gone, what's our solution? Let's hire one of ex-Watford, one of the 100 that's come from there, who couldn't do it there, who couldn't do it anywhere. And then, Big Sam will save us. They haven't had an identity since Bielsa left, really. I think. No. They just run around. Yeah, it's just not bad.
Can we up their grades to an F purely because they won at Anfield?
Oh yeah. And
that was quite funny.
Yeah. F. I guess the season's failed, but they've taken the Anfield win.
Yeah, exactly. Which was I found entertaining. So there we go.
Was that the season with that last minute winner?
Yeah.
Oh my lord, this season's been long.
It has been long, hasn't it? Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Right. The final relegated side, which had a really good chance to survive on the final day. They did all they could. They won, but Bournemouth didn't do them a favour. But Gaskey, this Leicester side has got to be up in terms of individual talent. Has got to be up there with the best to get relegated. Yeah.
I would say up there with, because wasn't Newcastle's quite good when they got relegated?
I think there was a good Newcastle side. There was also a fantastic West Ham side.
Yeah. You see, this is difficult now for you to give anything other than a U because they should not be getting relegated.
They shouldn't.
It's difficult to even how would you up it from a U if you had to?
I don't even know, but I guess you
can't. I don't think.
No, because based on the quality that they have, I don't know what their wage bill is, but maybe you could take into account the fact that they didn't really sign anyone. They couldn't sign anyone because of FFP.
Yeah.
That's all you can really take into account.
But then you'd think they've got the squad to not get beaten by the likes of your Forest and Bournemouth.
You've got Iheanacho, you've got Vardy, you've got Ndidi.
Yeah. You've got quality there to not get relegated.
Harvey Barnes, James Maddison.
Even they could easily sell up and get 200 million there. But Harvey Barnes has just signed a new contract. And he's Premiership quality as well.
Let's give them a U. I'm happy to give them a U.
I'm saying U for that as well.
And the team which survived on the last day, just about, because Bournemouth had a couple of late chances on the last day. I was watching that game, but Sean Dyche, to be fair, did do what we both thought he'd do, and he did save them just about, but he did it. So this is a hard one because we're not. I think if I was ranking Sean Dyche, I'd give a slightly higher rating, but Lampard was the manager for most of the season, so we've got to take into account that.
I'm thinking E.
Yeah, because they did survive, to be fair.
It's like you don't get a U unless you got relegated, in my eyes. An F.
Well, you say that.
Is like you gotta be
we'll find out
F if it's that bad. I think E is probably fair based on they beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
They give teams a good run for the money, the mess that they're in, and they survived. I think E.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. E for Everton. I'm happy with that. Based on the size of the club, they should be nowhere near the relegation zone.
This should be it now. This should be it. No more of this messing about with the relegation zone. Get your top half. You can do stadium coming next year.
Yeah.
Sort it.
Exactly. A club which I really thought was going to get relegated at the start of the season, but in the end, relatively comfortable. They finished 4 points off the relegation zone. Newly promoted Nottingham Forest. Gaskey, what are we thinking for this one? Because for me, they exceeded expectations.
Yes, they exceeded expectations. Is a C being too cheeky?
I think maybe we've got to give the context of how many players they brought in.
Yeah, D's a pass, isn't it? A D's still a pass.
Yeah,
and a D you've done better. You've done it, but you've done better than people have expected. So it's like I think a high D in it. I think a D.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be. I think you could argue a C because they're newly promoted, but it's the fact that I know it's not easy to amalgamate all those players, but they did, bring in Keylor Navas, for example.
Yeah.
So I think relative to the spends, therefore they would have been expected to stay up.
Yeah.
Are you happy with a D?
I'm happy with a D.
A D? Yeah, let's give it a cheeky D then. Ha ha ha. Bournemouth, who I think deserve more than a D, especially again based on how much money they've spent.
Yeah, based on, awful start to the season, managers out in the club, get sacked. Then the interim had 30 games and probably done better than I think they were probably the first team on relegation for people based on the summer transfers because they didn't sign anyone. Yeah. They signed barely anyone and they finished 15th. So I think C's fair, definitely.
I might want to push it to a B.
You thinking a B? Ooh.
Well, I mean, Gary O'Neill is getting manager of the season shouts. I think nearly everyone. I mean, I certainly had Bournemouth I had Bournemouth in 19th place. I think basically everyone had Bournemouth to finish bottom. So the fact that they were out of the relegation race with 5 games to go or whatever is incredibly impressive.
I guess if you see C as satisfactory, C is as expected, then I think B is probably fair.
I think fair.
Looking at it that way,
yeah. Maybe I'm being harsh on Forest, only giving them a D, but we can always go back and change our grades. Also, it's only a bit of fun, so
you're not going to get bloody managers on the phone going, "Excuse me, NobCast, what's this?" Brendan Johnson crying in the dressing room there because you're going D.
Right. Now, are we doing all competitions or just the Premier League?
I would say all competition because it's the season, isn't it, across the season?
Right. So therefore, West Ham are in the cup final.
Yes, and it somehow got to 14th place. So it's.
So I'm thinking.
A B? You think a B?
Yeah, because I'm thinking because they were at risk of being relegated at one point, but they were able to turn it around.
Well, what was your prediction at the start of the season for them?
I had them I think I had them 7th. To be fair,
so based on the season,
in a lot of good players.
Yeah, so based on the season, they are a lot worse off than you would expect. So that's what we say. That's like a D.
Yeah. But they're in a cup final.
They've had a cup final run. Would you say that's fair to push from a D to a B or to a C?
It's at least a C, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's more of would you agree if you just on the Premier League, it's a D?
Yeah.
Right. Is a cup final worthy of 2 grades higher or 1?
I think if they win it, then I will...
B if they win it, C if they lose it.
Yes. So for now, they haven't won it, so I'll put C.
It's a C.
But I will be willing to upgrade that to a B if they win it, because winning a trophy is great, but at the same time, finishing a club like West Ham with how good the players are and how much money's been spent, I think 14th isn't really good enough domestically.
Not at all.
That's my thoughts on that. Wolves...
C. Outright C, I think.
See, okay, so maybe I'm being harsh on West Ham, because Wolves, there's no way Wolves have had as good a season as West Ham.
It's tough, because it's like you could say, just looking at every other team now up till 9th, you could say that they all should have had better seasons. It's a tough one. It's tough. I
don't know. You think a C then?
Sad, because Wolves had a dreadful start.
Yeah.
And then they've done, with Lopetegui, they've done pretty decent. But is a D too harsh, or is a D fair? Maybe D, actually. Thinking of all the options there is, I probably think D.
I want to give them a D. I like the D.
Yeah. Based on West Ham, giving them a C. I think Wolves have to take the D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Gaskey, I'm giving Chelsea a U.
It has to be a U. No, you can't argue there's an F there. They've been 3 managers and they've all been shit. And the
I know it's not all about money, but the amount of money that's been spent.
Put it this way, Forest have brought in stupid amounts of players, stayed up. United have spent a lot of money, finished top 4. Chelsea spent loads of money and closer to relegation than the top. They were 40. What did they finish? 45 off the top.
Yeah.
A U.
Yeah, it's got to be a U for me. This is their worst season ever in the Premier League. So it's got to be. It's so bad. It's not even a fail. It's a bloody U.
Yeah.
Palace mid-table, never really look like being relegated.
I think a C.
Yeah, I agree. Not really too much to say about Palace.
I feel like a C is difficult to give because I think a lot of teams have overperformed or underperformed, but I think Palace have just kind of gone under the radar. It's just been, had a bad start.
Sure,
steadied the ship. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fulham, another tricky one, because again, I had them to just about survive. Lots of people would have had them to get relegated.
Yeah. Fulham, it's a tough one, because I would have, if you asked me 10 match weeks ago, I would have given a B, but then they've kind of dropped off a bit. So maybe they're a C as well, maybe. Is that harsh, or is a B fairer based on people probably expected them to be in Everton's position?
I think similar to how we've given Bournemouth a B, I think we've got to give...
I think so, actually. Good shout, to be fair. I think you're both a B, you should have a B as well.
Yeah, I think the Fulham were on course for an A, absolutely.
If they were in Villa's position.
Yeah, but I think that, sort of like the last quarter of the season, they just went off a little bit. Yeah. So I think a B is fine. I think a B is fair enough.
Yes. Yeah.
They've survived, newly promoted club, it's 10th, exceed expectations, great season for them. Brentford did the double on Man City.
We're
only a newly promoted club last season. I think even this season, a lot of people expected them to go down because they were saying, second season syndrome. In the end, only finishing 2 points out of the European spots and only 1 behind Spurs.
Yeah, I'm thinking B again.
I'm thinking because we can have A star, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm thinking A.
You think A? Oh, if we have an A star, then I think so.
Yeah. So so spoilers. I think Brighton should get an A star. So I think that Brentford as an A is probably fair.
Yeah,
I reckon. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give Brentford an A. Okay, who is next? Spurs.
Spurs F.
Yeah. Not quite as bad as Chelsea, but still pretty disastrous.
No, they've been tight roping over the U line for so long, and they haven't fallen off it. So I think F. Yeah.
Totally agree. Aston Villa securing European football.
Yeah, I think Yeah, A for them. I think I can't throw out A stars left and right. I'm not that type of teacher.
No.
I think A for them.
I think that's fair, given how at the they weren't risk of maybe.
They were 20. They were. Was it? But no, they weren't. They were 17th, weren't they, or something like that, when they sacked Gerrard.
Yeah, a risk of getting relegated. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Emery's now got them Europe. Because we said, I think we should have said it on the podcast when Gerrard got sacked. Like, they've got a European quality squad here. What's going on?
Yeah,
and they've proved the point.
Now it's finally being realised. Yeah.
Yeah. Finally. So definitely.
Brighton are an A star. Do you agree, Gaskey?
Yes. Yeah. Because for me with Brighton, it's more of they don't go and throw money left and right. They promote youth. They're signing random players no one's heard of and scoring absolute worldies. CISO, shout out. And yeah, like A star. Like, it's incredible how that club's run.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. And European football for the first time in their history in the Europa League.
Thanks to United for getting a final. Otherwise, they wouldn't be.
Yeah, and it's just been Potter started them off well. He left them in fourth place. De Zerbi's come in and has done wonders there as well. And it seems like everyone wants a Brighton player. Whether it's Caicedo or Mitoma or Ferguson or whoever.
Alistair as well.
Yeah. And also their manager. People want him. So I think it's got to be an A star for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Liverpool, Gaskey.
Liverpool, I would
had a
say,
disappointing season.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, E.
Yeah,
you think?
Yeah,
because just based on they should be in a title race. Put it that way, it should be in a title race.
Yes,
they had a dreadful season and they've brought it back. They've done what Chelsea didn't do. So I think E sounds very harsh, but I think you have to go off E if you're going off the whole season.
I think that what we've been doing here is basing it off expectations. I had Liverpool in a title race. You had Liverpool in a title race. Nearly everyone would have had Liverpool in a title race.
And they finished 20 points off. So
yeah, and it's their worst season. It's their worst season in 7 years.
Yeah, so E.
I think an E is fair. To be fair, I agree with you. Newcastle, Gaskey.
I think you have to give A star to Newcastle as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
Again, they were in the relegation zone last season. I understand the investment happened, but they haven't actually spent that much money in relative terms.
Yeah.
Surely no one thought they were getting Champions League football.
I don't think they did.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I predicted 7th, and I thought that was being very generous. So it's got to be for me. Then we come to the top 3. So Man United, Gaskey. I don't think it's an A star.
Oh no, I think A.
I
think
agree.
A, no matter what happens in the FA Cup final, I think it's just A.
Yeah, I agree. They've also won the League Cup.
Yeah, if an FA Cup final win, I don't think we'll push it to an A star. I don't think. But A, the overall season, I think an A is solid. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Arsenal, again, do you also think an A?
I think an A, yeah. Mm-hmm. They lose that star from bottling it. So,
if they won the league,
honestly, if it went down, I honestly think if it went down to the last game of the season, like last season, I think I probably would have pushed me to an A star.
Yeah,
but they bottled it over the last 10 matches, so you lose your A star.
Exactly. Didn't really push City and forfeited the title with 3 games to go, and didn't really do anything in the cups either. Yeah. So that's a thing. And then Man City. Now let's assume they aren't. We can't assume they've won the Champions League final or the FA Cup final. So they haven't won the treble.
Yeah.
That being said, they've won the league.
Yeah, you have to give it a star, don't you, if they win the league? You can't. It's weird if you vote. I guess the problem you've got is City now have these expectation of winning the league every year, which is right and rightfully so. So just winning the league, is it too arrogant to say an A? Or is that? Or should it be an ace? I don't know. I'm just trying to make conversation, to be honest.
I think it should be an A star because I understand where you're coming from because everyone expects them to come first. They have come first, but they couldn't really do anything about that.
No, you can't. You can't do any more.
You can't do better than first.
No, you can't do better than first, can you? There's no what +1 is there. So
and I think that
you have to get a star.
I also think I understand they were in a position where they were 8 points behind, but they did turn that around in the end, and they have been able to win the title from a point where most people were saying Arsenal were definitely going to win it. They are also in, regardless of whether they win it, they are in an FA Cup final and they are in the Champions League final as well. So I think that even if they don't win those games, it's still an A-star for me. Do you concur?
I agree. And then if they win both, it's an A-star.
Yeah, flawless.
I'll create one. Not flawless. Southampton beat them.
So we've given out 3 A-stars. We've given out 4 A's. We've given out 2 B's. We've given out 2 C's. We've given out only 1 D, interesting. Oh, sorry, 2 D's, Wolves and Forest. We've given 2 E's. We've given 2 F's. And we've given 2 U's. That seems to be about fair.
I think that to me shows, because I always think that you should give out a lot of C's, but that shows that there's been a lot of
It's been a weird season.
It has been very weird. Thanks to the World Cup for that, I think.
Yeah, I think most of the clubs you would give to C would be if they finish in so for example, Palace is the perfect example.
Yeah.
They finish in mid-table. We expect them to finish in mid-table. Yeah. That's, they didn't do anything exceptional. That's a C.
Yeah.
But then the teams around them, it's Chelsea. And
Fulham.
Exactly. It's tricky.
Yeah, whereas if West Ham were 9th, 10th, you'd be like C. If Wolves finished 10th, you'd give a C.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Totally agreed. That is our grading. We might also do a grading on the Premier League end of season review that I'm doing on Tuesday. So stay tuned for that on stream. But yes, guys, that is the end of the Premier League. It seems to have been a very long season. Well, the World Cup, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, our first podcast was after that humiliating defeat for United against Brentford, and that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Exactly. And there weren't any... I mean, thankfully for United, there weren't any humiliating defeats along the way, so...
Shut up. Go on. Carry on.
But obviously, huge podcast next week, because we are going to be discussing the fallout of the FA Cup final. Gaskey's going to be joining me on stream. We're going to be doing a drinking game. So, hey, it might get heated, it might get emotional. Who knows? Either way. But we'll be discussing that at length, reacting to the game and talking about the talking points from the FA Cup as well. And we'll also do a proper NobCast section with your guys' questions. But quickly before we go, Gaskey, it's been a long podcast. This makes up for it because last week it was a slightly shorter.
It's very short. Yeah, it does.
This week it's slightly longer. FA Cup final preview, Gaskey. How do you see the game going? Are you excited? Are you nervous? What are you going to be drinking? And what's your final score prediction?
I'm bricking it because I just can't be asked seeing United get humiliated again. I think I said on one of your streams, it's either going to be a drubbing from City, or it's going to be a 1-0 United win. I think. And obviously, I'm going to have to go for the 1-0 United win. It'd be weird of me to be like, nah, it's going to be 4-0 City. No, I think 1-0 United win. I'm not decided what I'm going to be drinking yet. And my liver is not looking forward to it.
Does the fact that City haven't really been... I know they are dead rubbers, but the fact that City haven't really been that good and lots of players maybe not fully fit the last 3 games, does that fill you with any degree of confidence? Pep's even saying these players aren't fit, or is that just mind games?
That's just Pep doing Pep things. He always just comes out with random sentences that makes people go, what does that mean? Well, there's a coding there somewhere. But no, it's difficult to say. All United need is 90 minutes of just deciding that they know how to shoot. That's all they need. And they've got another trophy. That's all they need to do. So just for the love of God, please hit the targets. Please.
There we go. I'm going to say I've got to back City to win. I'll say 2-0. Why not? And hopefully all the players will be fully... Ake got some minutes against Brentford, so hopefully in theory all our players are fully fit, because Ake was our only actually injured player. But hey, there's bigger fish to fry in the Champions League final. No, it's obviously huge.
As well.
It's obviously huge. Yeah, it would be really interesting to see what happens. It's already a successful season for City, obviously, but they have 2 games to potentially make it even more special. But guys, that was the NobCast. I have been Nobbins.
I have been Gaskey.
Wonderful stuff. Next time we see you, the FA Cup final will have been played. So make sure to join us for that. Make sure to join us for the stream as well. And we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.